Welcome to BuySpares. In this video we're replacing the belt on a Candy tumble dryer. Important: before replacing a part in any electrical appliance, you must ensure it is first disconnected from the mains. To get the correct part for your machine, make sure you get the model information off the rating plate here. Then go to the BuySpares website to order the right part for your model. I'm going to take the dryer lid off. There are two screws at the back. Lift it off and we can see the belt is not attached to the drum. We are going to take the control panel off, so take a photo of the wiring connections. Pull the connections off and remove these two screws. Open the door and we can pull the door seal out towards us to remove it. The kick panel pulls off. We need to take the front panel off, so we are going to start by taking the two screws from both sides of the panel at the top here. On the left hand side, you only need to remove the top screws that go through the cabinet in the front ring assembly. Leave the bottom ones as they go into the hinges and don't need to be removed. There are two screws on the right hand side that go into the front ring assembly. There are two screws at the bottom of the panel. We can now pull the front panel forward and lift it past the door seal. There is an electrical connection on the door lock. Take a photo at this point, then pull the connections off and lift the panel away. The NTC is here and is held in by two screws. Take the electrical connection out of the NTC and put the cable to one side. There are four screws holding the front ring assembly to the cabinet located here. You will need a nut spinner to remove them. When removed, lift the bottom section of the assembly to clear the pegs to allow you to move them above the cabinet to release. We can now tilt the assembly towards us to release the top section pegs from the cabinet. To remove the drum, we need to remove the screws that hold it at the back of the dryer. We are going to turn the machine around to get to the back where the heater is located. Take the heater cover off by removing the screws and place it to one side. The heater is held onto the cabinet by two screws located here, which we need to take out. Place the heater on the floor. There are screws going through the back panel into the drum here. Take the screws out. We can remove the drum. We can now lift the drum slightly and pull it towards us. To clear the sides, you may need to manoeuvre it a little. When cleared, just place it to one side. We can now see the belt on the bottom. It has broken. We can lift it straight out. To fit the new belt, it has to go around the motor shaft. We need to remove the motor fan so it can go around. Reach in and lift out the cover covering the fan. We need to get an extension in to the nut holding the fan. Use one hand to hold the fan and undo the nut with the other. We can pull the fan off. Don't forget the two washers on the motor shaft. Now lift the upper surround upwards, which will allow it to release, and take it out. Place the new belt around the motor shaft. Getting the belt into the correct position between the two pulleys is a little tricky, as you can't see what you're doing. Start with the one side first, and when you are sure it's in, go to the other side. When lifting the drum back in, make sure the belt goes around the drum in the correct position. Refit the screws into the back panel to hold the drum in position. Place the heater back on and put the 2 screws back in. Then it's just the heater panel to refit. We can now put the front ring assembly back into the cabinet by tilting the top section to get the pegs into the correct place. Now to get to the bottom section into place, you will need to lift it so the pegs align correctly to fit back into the cabinet. Then refit the 4 screws with a nut spinner. Refit the electrical connection to the NTC and make sure the cable fits back into the assembly. We can now reconnect the electrical connections to the door lock. Use the photo from earlier if you need to. Refit the front panel back against the cabinet and put the screws back in. Refit the kick panel. The door seal will clip into the ring assembly. Start at the top by pushing the seal edge into the gap until you have gone all the way around. Replace the control panel. Refit the screws. We can now use the photo we took earlier to refit the wiring connections. And just slide the top back into position. Refit the 2 screws at the back. And there we have it, 1 belt replaced on a Candy tumble dryer. For all the spares you need, visit the BuySpares website.